What if I told you there's an angel so powerful, even other angels fear to look at him? His gaze can destroy souls and banish evil spirits forever. But here's the catch. No one can agree on what his eyes really look like. Some say they're pure fire. Others claim they're multiple spinning eyes. And then there are those who swear lightning shoots from his stare. Why all the mystery? Stay with us to uncover the shocking truth about the angel with the deadliest gaze in heaven. You might think you want to know all the secrets of the universe, but be careful what you wish for. There's a reason even the bravest souls tremble before Uriel. His eyes can shatter minds and destroy souls. Are you ready to learn why? Uriel's gaze shows you everything as it really is. Our human brains aren't built to handle that much truth all at once. Imagine suddenly understanding how every single thing in the universe worked. Your mind would be overloaded. It's too much for anyone to take in. People who have seen Uriel's gaze, even for a split second, were never the same again. Some went crazy, babbling about impossible things they saw. Others became so scared of the world that they couldn't leave their homes. A few even lost their souls completely. The story of the desert mystic shows just how dangerous this can be. After years of praying in the wilderness, he met Uriel face to face. The mystic stared right into those fiery eyes. 3 days later, people found him wandering the desert, forever changed. He could now see when people were going to die just by looking at them. The full effects of Uriel's gaze are hard to understand. Some say it burns away everything false inside you. That sounds good, but what if those lies are holding you together? What if the truth is too much for your soul to bear? Here's the scariest part. Looking into Uriel's eyes can actually destroy your soul. Not just your body or your mind, but the very core of who you are. It's like being erased from existence. No afterlife, no second chances, just gone. Why would God make an angel with such a dangerous power? Maybe it's a test, or maybe it's a reminder that some knowledge isn't meant for us, at least not yet. But here's something to really make you think. Humans aren't the only ones who fear Uriel's gaze. Even other angels, beings of pure spirit and light, are terrified of looking into those eyes. What could possibly scare an immortal angel? Even immortal beings have their limits. Angels tremble at the thought of meeting Uriel's gaze. But why? What horrors could his eyes reveal that shake heaven itself? When Uriel enters a room, everything changes. The air crackles with tension. Lower-ranking angels bow their heads or turn away. Even mighty archangels avert their eyes. It's as if all of heaven holds its breath. Different ranks of angels react in their own ways. Guardian angels huddle together, wings forming protective shields. The cherubim, keepers of celestial knowledge, look especially worried. They know things most angels don't, but even they dread what Uriel might show them. A story tells of a proud principality with golden wings who thought he was above it all. During a big meeting in heaven, he looked straight into Uriel's eyes. In an instant, his wings turned to ash. He fell to his knees, shaking. When he finally spoke, his voice was humble, almost scared. He begged to be sent to Earth as a guardian for children. Something in that gaze had changed him completely. But what exactly do angels see? Uriel's eyes reveal the deepest, most hidden parts of whoever looks into them. For an angel, that means seeing their true purpose, every mistake they've ever made, and the full weight of their responsibilities. Imagine understanding every consequence of every choice you've ever made, not just the big stuff, but every tiny action that changed history without you knowing. Now imagine seeing all of that, plus every future choice, all at once. It's enough to make even an immortal mind crack. For the cherubim, it's even worse. Uriel's eyes might show them flaws in creation itself, secrets so big they could drive an angelic mind to madness. When angels meet Uriel's gaze, they see themselves stripped of all illusions. For beings created to serve a perfect God, seeing their own imperfections can be shattering. It's a reminder that even they have limits, that there are truths beyond their understanding. But here's the real kicker. Uriel's gaze also reveals their true potential. And sometimes, that's the scariest thing of all. Knowing exactly what you're capable of means no more room for excuses. So why would God create an angel with such terrifying power? But what do his eyes actually look like? Are they normal, like a human eye, or is there something more? The answer might shock you about the role of angels in our world. Imagine standing face to face with an angel whose eyes burn like the sun. How long could you look before turning away? His name is Uriel, and he is one of the most powerful archangels, known for his terrifying gaze that can make even the bravest souls tremble. Uriel's eyes contain entire universes. Witnesses report seeing molten gold swirling within, with countless points of light moving like stars being born and dying in fast motion. It's as if all of creation is reflected in those fiery orbs. The pupils of Uriel's eyes are deep wells of pure light, so bright that they almost look dark to our human eyes. Around these impossible pupils, rotating rings of sacred fire spin endlessly. Ancient scripts dance across these rings, revealing the names of God in every language that has ever existed or will exist. Even other angels avoid looking directly at Uriel. They turn away, shield their faces, or bow their heads in his presence. If immortal beings fear his gaze, what chance do we humans have? Some say the fire in Uriel's eyes is the same holy flame that burned in the bush before Moses. Others claim his gaze contains the very lightning that struck Mount Sinai. These aren't just stories. They hint at the true power behind Uriel's stare. But why is Uriel's gaze so dangerous? What makes it different from other divine beings? The truth is both beautiful and terrifying. Uriel's eyes are windows to absolute divine truth. When you look into them, you're seeing reality as it truly is, unfiltered and raw. It's the kind of truth that can shatter illusions, break minds, and even destroy souls. The whites of Uriel's eyes shimmer with an opalescent quality, reflecting all colors at once while somehow remaining colorless. Those who've seen them say the image burns itself into both your vision and your memory, leaving fiery after-images that never truly fade. Uriel often appears with a flaming sword to match his burning gaze. He embodies fire and light, the perfect symbols for his role as the angel of truth and divine judgment. But what does this judgment mean for those who dare to meet his gaze? That's where our story takes an even darker turn. Looking into Uriel's eyes isn't just about seeing the truth. It's about facing the consequences of that knowledge. And if even angels fear Uriel, why was he ever allowed near humans? In 745 CE, a group of powerful men gathered in a hidden room in Rome. Their decision would shake the foundations of Christian history. They voted to remove an entire archangel from church teachings. But why? What made Uriel, the angel of divine truth, so dangerous? The church erased Uriel from Catholic doctrine. This wasn't a small edit. It was a deliberate attempt to hide something big. What scared them so much about an angel? More and more people claim to have met Uriel. These weren't random folks. They were respected church members who devoted their lives to God. After these encounters, they spoke of truths that challenged church teaching. A 6th century bishop said Uriel visited him. He started writing texts the church called dangerous. What did he see in those fiery eyes? We may never know. The church destroyed his writings, calling them too risky for anyone to read. In remote monasteries, secret Uriel cults formed. Members practiced extreme mysticism, claiming Uriel's truth was bigger than any earthly authority. Some cult members entered strange trances, their eyes turning gold as they muttered eerily accurate prophecies. High-ranking church officials started having the same terrifying dream. Night after night, they saw Uriel revealing unsettling truths about the church's future. What did Uriel show them that was so scary they decided to pretend he didn't exist? Uriel's domain of truth and cosmic justice didn't fit neatly into the church's hierarchy. His power seemed to go beyond that, threatening the very authority of the church itself. So they made a choice. Instead of facing these prophecies, they distanced themselves from Uriel completely. Was this really about protecting people from dangerous knowledge? Or was the church more worried about protecting its own power? The story of Uriel's removal shows us the tension between organized religion and direct spiritual experiences. What happens when the truth you encounter doesn't match what you've been taught? But here's the really mind-bending part. What if removing Uriel from official teachings didn't actually make him go away? What if he's still out there, eyes blazing with divine fire, waiting to reveal truths that could change everything we think we know about the world? Uriel's eyes are windows to all of time. He sees everything that has ever happened and will happen, all at once. It's like watching a movie of all history, with every scene playing simultaneously. This cosmic insight gives Uriel a unique perspective on the world. When you look into Uriel's eyes, you might catch glimpses of different moments in time. 1 second you're seeing dinosaurs, the next you're watching empires rise and fall, and suddenly you're glimpsing the future. But why does Uriel have this incredible ability? Some believe Uriel's all-seeing eyes make him the perfect messenger between God and humans. After all, who better to guide us than someone who knows exactly how our choices will play out? There are stories of people gaining amazing foresight after encountering Uriel. A desert hermit could predict natural disasters weeks in advance, while a young girl painted scenes from the far future with uncanny accuracy. But here's where it gets really interesting. Uriel's ability to see all of time makes him the perfect judge. When we judge someone's actions, we usually only see a small part of the story. Uriel, however, knows every cause and effect, every motivation and consequence. He understands why people do what they do in a way no human judge ever could. Think about it. Uriel has the ultimate cheat sheet for the test of life. He knows all the answers because he can see how everything turns out in the end. But don't think this makes things easier for him. In fact, it's just the opposite. Uriel's eyes are mirrors that reflect the entire human experience. When he looks at us, he sees not just who we are now, but every version of ourselves that has ever existed or will exist. This incredible power comes with a heavy burden. How does Uriel use this ability? What does it mean for humanity? That's where our story takes an even more mind-bending turn. Uriel stands apart as the cosmic judge, weighing the actions of every soul that has ever lived. But his role goes far beyond what we might imagine. He sees the complete picture of each life from start to finish. and every choice in between. Think about the hardest decision you've ever made. Now imagine seeing every single consequence of that choice, good and bad, for all of time. That's what Uriel deals with for every person who has ever lived. But before we proceed with the next section, hit that like button if you are enjoying the video thus far. It encourages us to bring out more such amazing videos which show actual truths written in various biblical books. The weight of this knowledge is staggering. Uriel sees why you made your choices, how they affected others, and how those effects spread through history. He knows about the kind word that saved a life and the careless comment that started a war. Uriel's judgments are nothing like human justice. While we focus on single actions, Uriel looks at the whole story of your life. He sees the starving child who stole bread and the wealthy person who followed every law but never helped anyone in need. Sometimes Uriel steps in to change human events. One legend tells of a cruel king about to start a terrible war. Uriel showed him every death his war would cause in a dream. The king woke up, called off the attack, and spent his life working for peace. But Uriel doesn't always intervene. Why? His judgments come from a place of ultimate truth, a perspective so vast we can barely grasp it. He sees how even terrible events can lead to greater good in the long run. But he also knows when a small act of kindness can change the world. Every time Uriel looks at a soul, he sees all the paths their life could take. It's like watching a million different movies of someone's life at once. But what happens when Uriel turns that all-seeing gaze on humanity as a whole? The answer to that question might change everything we think we know about good and evil, right and wrong. It might even change what it means to be human. Are we ready for that kind of truth? Uriel's role in the end times is unlike any other angel's. Instead of trumpets or armies, he'll reveal the ultimate truth. People worldwide will experience moments of intense clarity, as if someone suddenly turned on all the lights. These glimpses might confuse or frighten, but they're just the beginning. When the final days arrive, Uriel's eyes become the most powerful force imaginable. Everyone, humans, angels, demons, will face what ancient texts call the mirrors of final judgment. Picture looking into those eyes and seeing your entire life reflected back. Every good deed, every mistake, every secret you've kept, all laid bare. But Uriel's judgment goes beyond following rules. It's about confronting the core of who you are. For some, this revelation might be too much to bear. Others might find it the most incredible experience of their existence, finally understanding the grand design of everything. As time unravels, Uriel stands as the gatekeeper to whatever comes next. To pass through, souls must face every truth about themselves, with nowhere to hide. This raises a chilling question. How do you prepare your soul for such ultimate honesty? The answer to that might be a little scary, and it might change what we know about being human. Are we ready to even consider it? Now, you might think you want to know all the secrets of the universe, but be careful what you wish for. Uriel's eyes reveal truths that shatter everything we think we know about reality. Witnesses say Uriel's gaze contains countless points of light, like stars being born and dying in fast motion. Imagine looking into eyes that hold entire galaxies. It's like staring into the heart of creation itself. But that's just the start. The pupils aren't just dark spots. They're wells of light so intense that they seem dark to us. How can something be so bright that it looks dark? It breaks all the rules we know about light. Around these impossible pupils, things get even stranger. Picture rings of sacred fire with ever-changing divine script. The writing spells out God's names in every language that has ever existed or will exist. Think about that. How can eyes show words from languages that don't even exist yet? Uriel's eyes don't just exist in our normal 3 dimensions. They seem to both stick out and sink in at the same time. This impossible geometry can drive people mad if they look too long. Why would divine eyes break the laws of physics like this? Some think it's because Uriel's gaze comes from a higher reality, one our human brains can't fully grasp. It's like trying to explain a 3D world to a 2D creature. Others believe Uriel's eyes are gateways to other dimensions. When you look into them, you're seeing glimpses of realities beyond our own. That's why they contain impossible colors and shapes that can't exist in our world. So what does this mean for us? If even looking at an angel's eyes can break our minds, how can we ever understand the full truth of creation? Maybe real divine truth isn't something you can simply see or understand. Perhaps it's something you have to experience, even if that experience changes everything you thought you knew. The next time you wish you could know all the secrets of the universe, remember Uriel's impossible eyes. Sometimes the truth is more than our minds can handle. But does that mean we should stop seeking it? What hidden truths might be waiting for those brave enough to look deeper? Uriel's gaze is a powerful mirror for the soul, revealing truths we often try to hide from ourselves. This divine reflection goes beyond surface appearances, exposing our deepest secrets, fears, and untapped potential. It's a confronting experience that strips away the stories we tell ourselves and the walls we build. Why is this so scary? Most of us spend our lives avoiding hard truths about who we are. But Uriel's eyes leave nowhere to hide. Different beings react in unique ways when faced with this raw self-reflection. Humans often break down crying, while demons shriek in terror and try to flee. What could be so horrifying that even evil spirits can't bear to look? Take the story of a proud king who thought he could handle any truth. One glimpse into Uriel's fiery eyes showed him his true selfish, cruel nature. This revelation changed his life forever. On the other hand, a humble monk found peace in seeing himself as part of a vast, beautiful tapestry of existence. Uriel's gaze isn't about judgment, but truth. It offers a chance for ultimate self-knowledge, like having a perfect map of your soul. The powerful tool shows where you've been and all the paths you could take. But such insight comes at a price. Here's a mind-bending thought. What if you looked into Uriel's eyes right now? Would you discover hidden strengths or face your darkest fears? Sometimes confronting these truths is the first step to becoming who we're meant to be. But here, one question remains. If these eyes revealed the deepest truths about ourselves, what might they show us about the nature of reality itself? Facing hard truths about ourselves and the world can be scary, but it's also how we grow. But there's something even more mind-blowing I need to share with you. You see, while Uriel's eyes show us truth, there's another angel whose very presence makes souls tremble. I'm talking about Samayel, the angel so powerful that even speaking his name gives some people chills. Think about it. Why would an angel be known as death's messenger? What terrible duty was he given that earned him this dark title? And more importantly, what happens when someone meets him face to face? The truth about Samayel will shock you. If you thought Uriel's gaze was intense, just wait until you learn about death's angel. Click the video on your screen right now to uncover one of heaven's darkest mysteries. Trust me, what you'll learn will change how you see angels forever.